Hello friends, this video on life processes part 4 is brought to you by examfear.com. No more fear from exam. Start with nutrition. So let us talk all about food, how a living organism gets its food, from where does it get its food, how it takes the food inside his body, what happens to the food once it goes inside the body of a living organism. So nutrition, as I mentioned before also, that to do any kind of work we need energy. And where does this energy come from? The energy comes from food. It basically comes from the nutrients which are present inside the food, right? So work would mean any kind of work. For example, doing exercises, doing any kind of physical work like cutting down a tree, or when you are running, or even when you are thinking, you need energy. Have you ever observed that if you are very hungry and if your mom says you that go and sit for your study, will you be able to concentrate? You are not, because you are hungry inside. You don't get that much of energy to study well or to think well, right? So even when you are sleeping, even then you need some kind of energy, because there are some processes which are taking place inside your body. That's why you would have heard that often people complain that if I don't eat anything for dinner, I do not get good sleep in an empty stomach, right? Even for, as I said, while for studying also you need lot of energy, and that is why these days you would have seen that your moms must be giving you the health drinks like Complan, Horlicks and many such nutritious food, so that you get so much of energy so that you can concentrate better on your studies, right? So whatever. Now for any kind of work we need a lot of energy, and this is not only true for human beings, but this is true for all life forms. So I gave you the example of human beings because you can relate it better, right? So it is true for plants as well as other life forms as well, correct? So in nutrition, what are we going to talk about? We are going to talk about the way food is obtained by an organism, how each organism receives its food, from where does it get its food. And the second thing which we will talk about is how the complex food which is taken by an organism is converted into a simple form which can be absorbed by the cells, because the need of food or the need of energy is a demand of the cells inside our body. The body is ultimately made up of cells, and each cell generates energy, so they need some energy to perform the various metabolic activities. So at the same time, the cells cannot digest complex foods. They cannot utilize complex foods for their energy needs. So they need energy in simpler forms. So how this complex food are converted into simpler food, that also we will talk about in nutrition, right? So not only animals, in case of plants also we see that we get fruits, flowers, etc. And these plants also need food as well, because if you do not, how does the plant get food? We will talk about that later. But for now you can think that if we don't give proper water, if we do not allow proper sunlight to fall on the plants, they tend to dry up. They do not live under such conditions, right? So even plants also need energy, and that is why even plants also need food, correct? So this is where we show the necessity of nutrients for the plants. So not only water and sunlight, there are so many other nutrients which are needed by a plant. For example, you would have seen that in your garden also, the gardener often enriches the soil with so many different fertilizers and manures, so that the soil on which the plant is planted, it is enriched with many minerals which are needed for better growth and development of the plant, correct? So it is not only about plants or only about human beings, it is about all life forms which is existing on the earth. Each and every life form needs energy, and that energy directly comes from food. Now here in nutrition we will talk about how that food is obtained by an organism and how that complex food is converted into a simpler form. So with this introduction on nutrition, let us try to define nutrition. How do we define nutrition? It is the process of obtaining food and changing it into simple absorbable form, right? Now the question is, why do organisms need food at all? The first thing, the basic thing is it provides energy. Now, how it provides energy and how the process takes place, we will talk about all that. Also, the food contains nutrients. For example, you have different types of foods which are enriched with different types of nutrients. For example, there are food like rice or potato, which are very rich in carbohydrates. Similarly, you have pulses, which are very rich in proteins. You have fruits and vegetables, the green vegetables and fruits, which are rich in vitamins, minerals, right? You have milk, which is rich in calcium and phosphorus. So you have different food materials which are enriched with different kinds of nutrients, and our body needs different types of nutrients for performing many different activities. Not only that, food helps in cell repair and cell growth. So why does a cell actually need energy? Because sometimes a cell might get damaged. So for the repair of that cell, we need some energy. Similarly, for the growth of the cell, the growth of a living organism is because the number of cells increases or because the cell size increases. So for both of them, we need energy. So that is why we need food. It also increases resistance against diseases. You would have seen that people often say that if you do not eat properly, you will fall ill soon. Why? That's because when we eat well, we actually provide our body with all the necessary nutrients. So the body stays healthy, and as a result, the immune system of the body grows stronger. What is immune system? Immune system is the soldier of our body. It actually helps to fight against infections. It helps to fight against diseases. So if your body is healthy, your immune system is stronger, and you will tend to get diseases less, right? So I have discussed about the immune system in detail in class 9th, correct? So the immunity of the body also increases. Okay, so quickly let us look at this. What are nutrients? So here we have defined nutrients, a substance that provides nourishment needed for growth and maintenance of life. So every living organism needs nutrients for its proper growth and development, right? So now we understood what is nutrition. Nutrition is all about, it is all in and around food. And why do we need food? To get nutrients, for energy, for cell repair and growth, and also for better immunity of the body. Thank you. Please visit www.examfear.com to watch more videos, attempt free online test, get free study material, find tutors and mentors. Thank you once again.